Hi students, welcome to my channel Biochemics with Ajay Eminar. Today we will discuss a few question and answers from a topic called improvement in food resources. So without further delay, we will enter next slide. The topic is improvement in food resources and we are going to discuss question and answers. Here is the first question for you. What do you get from cereals, pulses, fruits and vegetables? Dear children, here you have four different kinds of food resources like cereals, pulses, fruits and vegetables. And what we get from each of these resource? I'll say answer. From cereals, they are the source of carbohydrates and are the main source of energy. So from cereals like rice, maize, wheat and all the examples of cereals. From this we can get carbohydrate. They are rich in carbohydrate. This carbohydrate is the main source of energy for us. And the next, pulses. These pulses, they provide protein for growth and development. We need proteins for growth and development of our body. So proteins are the building block of body. So pulses are the source of proteins. And now vegetables and fruits. They are rich in minerals, vitamins, and carbohydrates, protein, and fats for overall development. But vegetables and fruits are rich in minerals and vitamins like vitamins, different types of vitamins like fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins are there. Similarly, some like minerals like potassium, calcium, magnesium, sodium. These are the type of minerals. So here we have four resources. From each resource we get different types of food item. Now we'll see the next question. How do biotic and abiotic factors affect crop production? Here you see two words, biotic and abiotic. Here the word biotic refers to living substances, living things. Abiotic represents non-living substances. That means how living and non-living substances or things they affect crop production. Now we'll see answer. There are two major factors that affect the crop. One is biotic factors. These are like insects, rodents. Rodents means like a rat. These are the rodents example, pests and many more spread the disease and reduce crop production. These insects, rodents, pests and other they attack a crop and they consume nutrients from the crop and they spread different kinds of diseases and as a result crop production will be reduced. These are the biofactors they affect crop production. There are three types. One is insects, rodents, pests and many more are there. The next one is abiotic factors. Abiotic factors means they are like a humidity, that means moisture in the atmosphere, temperature, moisture, wind, rain, flood, and many more. So these are the other abiotic factors that they affect crop production. And also they destroy the crop raised. Now, next question is What are the desirable agronomic characteristics for crop product improvement? Agronomic characteristics, that means that related to plant, or that means development of all parts of a plant. Answer: the essential agronomic features are required for crop improvement are, we'll see, profuse branching along with tallness in any fodder crop. Any fodder crop. Fodder crop means it's a actually a plant that related to grass, any grass which is taken by animals like cow, buffalo, and all other milching animals. Fodder crop means it's a grass. Profuse branching means that means the grass plant that contains abundant branches, and that branches should contain leaves that will be a food for animals, milching animals particularly. Now, dwarfness in any cereals. Cereals should not grow too long. They should be dwarf. So these are the agronomic characteristics for crop improvements. Next question. What are macronutrients and why are they called macronutrients? Here macro means large, a nutrient which is required in large quantity are called macronutrients. Answer: macronutrients are the fundamental elements that are used by plants in more quantity. In more quantity, macronutrients needed by the plants are. Now we'll see what are the different kinds of macronutrients they are needed by plants. Macronutrients as the constituent of protoplasm. Cell contains protoplasm. This protoplasm is made up of macronutrients. Phosphorus, nitrogen, and sulfur are present in proteins. That means these three, phosphorus, nitrogen, sulfur, are macronutrients. They are present in proteins. Calcium exists in the cell wall. So only plant cell has the cell wall. This cell has calcium in it. So that's why, because of the cell wall, plants are so rigid and they grow very high. Now, magnesium is a significant component of chlorophyll which helps in photosynthesis. So we know that photosynthesis is a process in which plants they produce their own food by a process called photosynthesis. They use carbon dioxide, water, and light. This light is absorbed by chlorophyll in which magnesium is present. Because of magnesium metal, chlorophyll is green in color. Next question. How do plants get nutrients? Answer. There are 16 basic essential nutrients. How many? 16 basic essential nutrients required by plants to grow. 16. They are carbon and hydrogen are supplied by water, and the remaining, that means remaining 14 nutrients are supplied through the soil. Next question. Compare the how use of manure and fertilizers in maintaining soil fertility. Answer. Manure, fertilizers. First point, manure improves soil quality with added nutrients. We know that manure is nothing but decomposition of plant and animal waste and their excreta. Now fertilizers make the soil become too dry and powdered and raise the rate of soil erosion. So fertilizers are not good. Excess usage of fertilizers is not recommended because that makes soil very dry, a powder form, and they raise the rate of soil erosion. That means top layer of the soil will be taken away. Now, manure, second point, manure provides extra organic matter called humus to the soil and therefore increasing the water retention capacity of sandy soils and drainage in clayey soil. So sandy soil, since they have a lot of gaps in it, they easily give up loose water moisture. They can't hold or they cannot retain water for long time. If you add manure to the sandy soil, this manure that covers all holes and it holds water and it improves water retention capacity of sandy soil. Now, fertilizers. The organic matter decreases by decreasing the porosity of the soil. Hence, the plant roots do not get oxygen properly. So, because of this one, fertilizer organic matter will be decreased and same time porosity, that means holes gaps will be narrowed. Then a plant roots cannot get oxygen properly or sufficiently. Now manure. Manure help to reduce soil erosion. The nature of soil changes either basic or acidic. Because of fertilizers, soil changes either basic or acidic. These two conditions are not good for soil. The soil should be a pH range which is close to the neutral, like a 6.9 to 7. Manures provide food for soil-friendly bacteria which are helpful in growing crops. There are certain bacteria that help crops to grow. This manure help them. This manure provide food for those bacteria. These two conditions are not good for crops. Which two conditions? One is dryness of the soil. Second one is decreasing the porosity of the soil. These two are not good for on acidic nature or basic nature. These two are not good for crops. So these are the differences between manure and fertilizers. So better we adapt for manure rather fertilizers. Next question. Which of the following conditions will give the most benefits and why? First one, farmers use high quality seeds, do not adapt irrigation or use fertilizers. B. Farmers use ordinary seeds, adapt irrigation and use fertilizer. And C. Farmers use quality seeds, they adapt irrigation, they use fertilizer and use crop production measures. So among these three, we can see farmers they use quality seeds. Quality seeds that improve crop production, adapt irrigation. So different techniques we have to use for irrigation, water supply, and we have to use fertilizer and we have to use crop production measures. So C is the correct option over here. Option C will give the most benefits because the use of good quality seeds is not only sufficient, but the soil should be irrigated properly and the soil should be enriched with fertilizers and protected from biotic factors. So good quality seeds are important as well as soil should be irrigated properly and same time we have to enrich the soil with fertilizers, and we have to take protected measures from biotic factors like bacteria, fungus, and all these things. Next question. Why should preventive measures and biological control methods be preferred for protecting crops? Answer. Overexposure to chemicals leads to environmental problems. So water bodies will become polluted, and aquatic plants and animals they die. So we have to stop using overexposure or over usage of chemicals. That means fertilizers. So biological methods are preferred for protecting crops from pathogens, insects, and rodents, along with increasing production. So these are the preventive measures and biological control methods that we have to prefer for protecting crops. And last, as chemicals are harmful to plants and also to the animals which feed on them, biopesticides are used as safe way of crop production. So instead of this weedicides, pesticides and all chemicals, we can go for biopesticides. Biopesticides are nothing but they are like a bacteria and fungus. Certain bacteria they kill other virus, and certain virus kill a bacteria, vice versa. So here we're not using any chemicals in biopesticides. Next question. What factors may be responsible for the losses of grains during storage? After harvesting, we have to storage the grain during this time, and some grain will be lost because of some poor managing methods. We will see what are the factors responsible for that. First one, biotic and abiotic factors are responsible for the loss of grains during storage. Like, first we'll see how biotic factors are responsible for loss. They are rodents like a rat, rabbit, and these kind of things are called rodents. Pests, we know what are pests: insects, fungi, bacteria, and these are the biotic factors that are responsible for the loss of grains. Now abiotic factors we'll see: sunlight, flood, rain, temperature, and moisture. These are the abiotic factors which are responsible for loss of grains during storage. So we have to focus on both the biotic factors and abiotic factors, and we have to take enough precautions to save grains during storage. Thank you. Have a nice day.